Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening on a Tuesday. Heidi, how you doing, baby?
I'm fantastic. And yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing really good. It's Tuesday. That means we've got Tuesdays with Charlie coming up in the program today. That's always fun. Also, got some fun stories about things going on. We've got, kind of looking through here, if I can see something maybe. Oh, we're going to talk about spiders. There's a spider story coming up. An intern that got in trouble for drinking, and he wanted to become a policeman. That's not so good. And like I said, Tuesdays with Charlie, where we have a wealth of knowledge. Speaking of a wealth of knowledge, did you know the Great Alexandria Library, founded in 295 BC, had 700,000 books at its peak? That's a lot of books.
Really?
Thinking about the time before they even had the press to print books. Much of it was destroyed in a fire at 47 AD when Julius Caesar laid siege to the city of Alexandria. So they had a lot of books. I wonder what those books were about. Wouldn't it be awesome to be able to see the history that would have been inside said books?
Sure.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been amazing.
But since we don't have that, stick around for Tuesdays with Charlie, because that's almost the same thing. Same kind of knowledge. It's all on the way. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Some researchers at the University of Glasgow said they have evidence that disputes the idea that humans evolved from Neanderthals. They say that humans and Neanderthals both roamed the earth at the same time. So saying we didn't come from Neanderthals.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree as well. And I, for one, because we've had this conversation, I believe that Bigfoot is a real thing. You don't. You think it's a hoax, right?
Well, I just think with all the technology that we have, somebody would have caught convincing footage. You keep saying, there's footage. There's blurry crap. But somebody, first of all, would have found a dead one and drug it home. There'd be a dead Sasquatch somewhere.
Here's my thing. For years, there were people talking about this thing in another country, and they said that they were all crazy. And then they found, finally, this is only like 100 years ago, they finally captured some, and they're called gorillas, and now we see them in zoos. Okay. I think that it's like a North American gorilla.
100 years ago, we didn't have cameras at the end of every single person's arm.
And here's the thing. We have photos, but nobody believes anyone nowadays. They say, it's a hoax, somebody dressed in a monkey suit. Either way, they say, according to the University of Glasgow, Neanderthals and humans, not the same thing. We were on the planet at the same time, so we didn't come from them. I don't think Bigfoot is like the missing link between man and monkey. I think that it's just another species, kind of like a gorilla. So someday, I hope that I can be proven right so my wife and I can finally get over this. Because we have to just agree to disagree right now.
I guess so.
All right. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Being a burglar these days can be a dangerous thing. You got to watch out for burglar alarms, guards, guns, angry dogs, and of course pigs. Yeah, listen to this story. I'm not talking about police officers. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm talking about real, honest-to-goodness pigs. A pot-bellied pig, to be exact, foiled a burglar's attempt, and he bit him as he was trying to break into the pig owner's house. The pig's name, of course, what do you think?
Rambo.
No. Arnold. Rambo? Where'd you come up with Rambo?
He was a badass pig. I thought maybe his name was Rambo.
No, this is Arnold. That's like the most famous pig of all time, isn't it? Green Acres is the place to be. Don't you remember that?
Oh, I remember Green Acres.
Arnold, that's the name that was screamed when Becky Moyer heard somebody breaking into her home. The pig then apparently knew that when she shouted the name, that meant to attack, and he ran and grabbed the man by the leg. The man did escape. Turns out Arnold was a present for Becky from her boyfriend. He got her an attack pig. Now I want one.
I wonder how you go about training an attack
Same way you would train a dog. And pigs are pretty tough little critters. Now, when I was a kid, I worked on a farm shoveling the stuff that comes out of the back of a pig. Not so good. We got little poodles right now. I'd take that any day over what comes out of a pig. We got poodles.
You don't clean that either.
I know I don't, but I'm saying it sits in our backyard. If we had a pig walking around back there,
I would have loved to have actually seen you doing that job on the farm, watching you clean up the little tiny turds that come out of our dogs.
It was bad.
I bet watching you on that farm
was bad.
Absolutely hilarious.
Oh, it's not. That's why I am the way that I am now. I'll blame it on the farm. How's that sound?
Were you doing the...
Oh, yeah.
Like all day?
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
Oh
it was like 2.5 hours of that as I'm shoveling. Not good. Anyway, attack pigs, they do exist. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Also, coming up, something that is usually about at least 50% true, we have Tuesdays with Charlie on the way.
50%?
Okay, that might be a little generous.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Madison, Wisconsin police intern has been arrested when he was impersonating an officer to detain people. A police report says the 20-year-old intern, he was trying to become a policeman. He was drunk last week, and he approached 3 men, and he flashed his intern badge, claiming he was an undercover detective. Then he pretended to have a gun, and he ordered them to get to the ground. He didn't have anything in his hand. It was just his finger and his thumb.
Oh, my goodness.
Then he talked into his cell phone, saying he'd back up. Authorities eventually let the men leave, saying that they were lucky. Police arrested the man on tentative charges of impersonating an officer, disorderly conduct, and underage drinking.
And I'm pretty sure he lost his internship.
Yeah, the police report notes it is anticipated that his internship is over.
I'm pretty sure.
So there you go. If you want to be a police officer, but if you want to be a police officer, I understand that, but don't do dumb things like this. He's 20, and he was drunk as a skunk, and then pretending to be a cop. That doesn't work, my young underage drunk friend. Don't do that. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Spiders and beauty products don't typically mix. It was a hair-raising experience for a German woman. She tried to kill a spider in her garage with a can of hairspray. Now, for those of you who grew up in the 80s and remember what hairspray and lighters do. I don't know if you did. Remember, when you were a kid, did you guys do that? Or was that just the idiots in my neighborhood?
We did not do that, but I know what it does.
Unfortunately for the woman, when the hairspray failed to kill the spider, she went to plan B. She grabbed a cigarette lighter.
Oh, my God.
However, lighter plus fumes equals big flame, and her semi-detached house next to the hedge got all burned up, and her hedge was gone. The home is now uninhabitable. On the bright side, she did kill the spider.
Well, that's good. That's something.
When I was a kid, we did some dumb things with aerosol cans and lighters. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want kids to try that stuff at home.
Thank you. I am proud of you.
I know.
It's like you've matured before my eyes.
I did because I wanted to tell this. She wouldn't let me tell you what we did, but I'll bet you can find a YouTube video that tells you what we did. No, it was dumb stuff, and we got hurt several times, so don't do it. Coming up, we do have the scoop of the day, and speaking of getting hurt, I got a feeling we're going to probably hear all kinds of damaging information from Tuesdays with Charlie. That's on the way.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. A bus driver in China has been fined for posting insulting signs on the backs of seats. The signs read, "Please do not spit and litter. Violators are as bad as pigs and dogs." That's what he got in trouble for in China. If they put that on a bus here, people would probably laugh at it and take selfies with it. So
I was going to say, that's not
that
all
is
that
apparently
offensive.
very offensive. You are as bad as pigs and dogs. How dare you? All right. An Oakland Athletics season ticket holder asked a federal court yesterday to protect fans from flying bats and balls by ordering the Major League Baseball to extend the safety netting at its ballparks to the entire length of the foul lines. So I wonder what happened there. Somebody must have got knocked in the noggin with something. So it's interesting that they're asking them to do that.
I think if you're going to those games, you're taking a chance of getting hurt. I mean, you kind of know that, yeah.
Every time we go to a ball game, we'll be talking, and I'm like, I'm always afraid I'm going to get hit in the head with a ball.
I'm always a nervous wreck. I'm watching, and I'm thinking, I'm going to get whacked.
But I would never go to a judge and say, can you order them to put up a fence? No. The judge would say, I'm going to order you to watch the game from home.
Yeah, why not just stay home and watch the game, you
pansy? Alcohol-fueled Christmas parties could become a thing of the past after a lawsuit brought by a company worker in Australia who was fired for hitting on colleagues and telling his boss to blank off at a work function. He didn't say blank. He filled in the blank, of course. Mm-hmm. The man was found to be unfairly dismissed and his employer partly to blame for serving unlimited alcohol at a company function. The decision could lead to the man getting his job back on the projects that he was working on. So there are many people now saying that, hey, if this is the way it's going to be, because there are a lot of people get fired after drinking at Christmas parties and saying what they really think. They're saying maybe that'll be a thing of the past. All right. Police are, at last report, searching for pranksters who burst into a Southern California movie theater and tried to frighten the audience with a noisy leaf blower.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
What was that all about?
That's a very
terrible
bad idea.
He's lucky he didn't get shot, whoever it was.
Oh.
All right. The power of dog noises is well documented. Reputation continues to improve. Researchers have discovered that our canine companion snouts, not noises, noses. That makes more sense.
I was visualizing what you're talking about.
I was thinking they were talking about barking.
I don't know what is
Let's
going on.
Let's try that again. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of the John's a Moron Who Can't Read. The power of dogs' noses is well documented. Researchers have discovered that canine companions have snouts that may be more accurate than laboratory procedures when detecting certain forms of cancer. Yeah.
Didn't we read a story about a dog that
sniffed out cancer
in his owner?
Researchers in Italy trained 2 dogs to sniff out a scent of prostate cancer in urine samples with success rate of 98%. They already sniffed there anyway. We might as well.
Might as well put that to some good use.
Hey, your dog is very qualified for this. Thank you, Nosy McNoser. All right, a recent study says people who get snubbed on Facebook feel less meaningful existence. If you want somebody to be your friend, study finds Facebook likes and comments. The more you get, the more likely you are to feel positive. On the other hand, fewer likes and comments equals reflected feelings of loneliness and self-worth.
Okay, but isn't that just not just Facebook, but reality in general? I mean, if you get lots of affirmation and
that's probably
feedback,
true. But they're saying it really matters on Facebook because everybody can see it, not just you. Because if you do a good job at work and somebody comes up and says, hey, Heidi, good job today on pointing out what an idiot I am on the radio. Good job on that. Now, you might be the only one that knows that.
I get that a lot, actually.
I know you do. But if that's posted on Facebook somewhere, I don't know, for example, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, if it were posted there, then everybody could see it.
Everybody would know.
Yeah, that's probably what they're talking about. Apparently, there's a fast-growing market for positive pregnancy tests on the internet. Have you heard about this? Some girls want to give their boyfriend a friendly little nudge into popping the question. Others want to use it as pranks, but there are people who are pregnant and urinating on pregnancy tests and making bank selling them online. Why is it that you guys always have the upper hand on everything?
What? Okay, so they're taking the pregnancy. If you're pregnant, they're taking these pregnancy
tests, making
it
positive, and then sending them to people.
And then sending. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, people are buying them online, and apparently there's quite a bit of market for it.
Inappropriate.
It's very interesting what they're doing with those. And finally, strange law. It is illegal for hens to lay eggs before 8 a.m. and after 4 p.m. in Norfolk, Virginia. So there you go. You chickens, you better get your stuff together. Between 8 and 4, that's it. Not before, not after, only between 8 and 4. How do they enforce that?
There's no way they could
enforce
that.
There's none. All right, that's your strange law.
Take their red contacts out, I suppose.
Apparently. And this is your scoop of the day. And we have Tuesdays with Charlie on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Time now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and call my father-in-law for a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
It is a crappy Tuesday, rainy, ugly morning.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. You had our kids for a while, and you had the other grandkids, so now this week it's got to be kind of quiet at your place.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice.
Peace and quiet.
You can run around the house naked. You don't have to worry about it.
That was an image I certainly didn't need in my head. So, what are we going to learn about this week, Charlie?
I got a few things here for you. I might have told you this once before, but we're going to do it again anyway.
Okay.
You know the game Twister?
I do.
That came out in 1966. That's been quite a while ago.
It has.
I don't even know if they still use that game anymore.
Oh, yeah, it's still around.
Did you know that it was, critics called it sex in a box?
No kidding.
Well, if that were the case, it would have come out in 69.
Oh. Well, I do know this. I know that the sales of the game were kind of sluggish until Johnny Carson played the game with Zsa Zsa Gabor on the Tonight Show.
Really?
And right after they played it, the sales of that game went crazy all over the country.
Well, I'll be darned.
So,
I can see why.
Yeah.
I'd play Twister with her. Speaking of TV then, in the 50s, TV shows were not allowed to use the word pregnant as it was considered indecent.
No kidding.
My, how times have changed.
Now they have shows based on nothing but underage pregnant kids. There's like TV shows devoted to that.
That's called reality TV, and I don't believe anybody watches that stuff.
Well, there must be somebody watching it. Would you say that we've evolved to a good thing? Do you think we've gone to a better place, or do you think we've gone down the wrong road?
We've gone down the
definitely down the wrong road.
I would agree with that.
Right in the shorts.
Bring back Leave It to Beaver, right, Charlie?
Yes, there you go. Hey, then, did you know that 13% of the Scottish population has red hair?
Yeah, largest population of people with red hair from Scotland.
Yep, red is the rarest color, and you know it's only found in 1% of the world's population?
1%, huh?
Oh, I didn't know that.
13% of Scottish has it.
Huh. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, then, you like billy goats?
Sure, why not?
They're fun.
Everybody likes billy goats.
Heidi wants to get a billy goat.
They're butting little animals, let me tell you. They'll butt you in a second.
Yes.
Did you know that they urinate on their own heads to smell more attractive to females?
Ew.
You know, I did that once.
How on earth do they do that?
How'd that work for you?
Oh, I was peeing into the wind. It didn't work so hot.
Well, you got fluff, I guess. What the deal?
Yeah, there you go.
Did you know that you pay to have your star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood?
I didn't know that. You
Really?
You have to pay for that?
You have to pay for that.
How much does one of those cost?
$30,000.
Well, we need one.
Let's just save up and... Do you any other qualifications other than the $30,000?
Well, I think they have to know who you are.
Well, we'll just say it's Tuesdays with Charlie, of course. You know who we are.
There you go. Everybody knows who we are.
Tuesdays with Charlie star. I'm going to start a GoFundMe campaign.
I bet it'd cost a lot less than that to do just one right here in our town.
You know what?
Let's do a Tuesdays with Charlie star
I got a plan.
Right in the middle of downtown.
Here's the idea, Charlie. Next time somebody sees construction, like when they're pouring a sidewalk, you call it.
Oh my gosh.
You call and let me know. I'll go down and put my own star in it.
I thought you were going to encourage someone else to do it. I was like,
No, don't.
not do that.
Don't do that. That would be
Don't do
bad.
that. Don't put my name on there.
Don't put my name.
Hey, then I got one last thing for you.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Well, you know Betty White.
Yeah, of course. I love Betty White.
Do you know that she is older than sliced bread?
I suppose because, they always say it's the best thing since sliced bread, so that had to come along somewhere. When did they come out with sliced bread? Does it say in your info?
1928 was sliced bread. She was born in 1922.
No
Really?
kidding. Well, there you go.
So that old saying, you're older than sliced bread, is true.
No, the best thing since sliced bread is what they say.
The best thing says, is that what I said?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, she's older than sliced bread, too. But,
Hey, I got a good question for you today, and I don't know if you're going to know this or not, but...
probably not.
Tweety Bird. You've heard of Tweety Bird,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What color was Tweety Bird originally?
Blue.
No. Pink.
Pink?
You know why they changed Tweety Bird to yellow?
No.
Because Tweety Bird looked naked when he was pink.
Really?
And his original name was Orson, and they changed his name to Tweety.
So is Tweety Bird a male then?
It is, and I did not know that. I always thought Tweety Bird was a girl, but apparently Tweety Bird is a boy.
Well, no wonder they changed the color. You can't have a boy being pink.
Well, there you go. Nowadays you can, I suppose. You can have about anything you want these days.
There you go.
All right. Well, Charlie, it's always good to chat with you. I look forward to chatting again next week. Thanks for taking time to chat with us.
Have a good day.
You
Bye,
too.
Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can with a little show we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, the 18th day of August, which makes today Bad Poetry Day. Roses are green, violets are pink.
I am not a huge poetry
poem's
fan,
not
so
good
I would have to say
because I kind of stink.
all poetry kind of lands.
No,
in that
I
category.
love poetry. If it's good
You
poetry,
do?
I do.
How often do you sit around reading poetry?
I don't very often. I have some poetry books that I bought because I thought it would be really cool. I was told by reading poetry, you actually work a portion of your brain that doesn't get used for anything else. So by reading that, you're actually strengthening, and it's part of the creative bone in your brain. Not that there's a bone in your brain. Some people maybe, boneheads. But either way, it's Bad Poetry Day today. It's also Mail Order Catalog Day, which you celebrate every day. You get a lot of mail order catalogs.
I do like to.
I don't know why.
From
I don't like those. It's also Serendipity Day today. It's very serendipitous that would happen today. And it's Birth Control Pill Day. So happy day to you. I'm going to celebrate with some bad poetry. And some birth control pills? Probably not. With some, I don't know what else. Maybe that's going to probably be it. I'm going to just move on. Today is Tuesday, the 18th day of August.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
For those who like to sleep in, I've got some good news. It might actually be good for you to sleep in. See?
I like to sleep in. I really like to sleep in.
A team of sleepy scientists in the University of London determined that sleeping in late is actually good for you. The scientists say that getting up early can leave you stressed out for the whole day and making you more susceptible to colds and flus. However, late risers tend to be calmer, more laid back, and fitter. Fitter?
Well,
is that a word?
That's not the case for me, but
Wouldn't it
I
be
do
more
like
fit?
to sleep in.
Either way, the study says they discovered a link between the time people get up and their levels of stress hormone cortisol. Early risers tend to be busier and suffer greater hassles during the day, having more anger and less energy at the end of the day. Those who get up later are more leisurely and less busy. So there you have it. Snoozing and sleeping in is going to make you happier, and it's going to make you healthier, and it's going to make you probably more well-rested, I'm guessing.
I like to sleep in, especially since we got our new mattresses.
Oh, yeah, those are nice.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's the thing that's interesting. I don't sleep in. I can't sleep in. It's hard for me.
I
get
never
up
used
early.
to be able to. My back would hurt too bad,
Yeah.
and it doesn't anymore.
I get up early, and I go to bed late. And the other night, our son, he's 18, love my son dearly, he wanted to watch a movie. He said, I'm going to give you guys a choice. Do you want to watch Rear Window? Or do you want to watch
Which was
Star
very
Wars?
good, by the way.
So we watched Alfred Hitchcock Rear Window, which
Yes.
I'd never heard of before. It was really good.
It was very good.
Interesting movie. And when we chose, you chose Rear Window, and he said, Dad, it's up to you. You get to choose. And I said, well, since you're joining the Navy and leaving us, I'm going to go with Mom because I'm stuck with her. And he's like, well, you should have said, since you're leaving, I'm going to choose what you want. Anyway, I said, I'll stay up late and I'll watch the other movie too, which I did. When I say I mean stayed up late, I sat on the sofa and slept through most of the Star Wars movie.
It's Star
I felt
Wars,
so bad.
though.
I've already seen it anyway. I was like, hey, I've seen this. Like, we can chat about it if you want. I know what's going to happen. But I was so tired. By the time I was 1 a.m. is when it was done. When I stay up late, it's usually not that late. That was not fun. But if you do get a chance to sleep in and somebody's hounding you to wake up, you can say, hey, according to a report from the University of London, sleeping in is good for me, so I'm going back to bed. Coming up, we've got diamonds. They're in the news on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Diamonds. Now, have you ever heard anybody refer to diamonds as ice?
Yes.
Got some ice. Well, diamonds, they've been called ice, but now you could actually get a ring made of ice. A jewelry designer in Germany is marketing rings made out of ice. They last just a couple of minutes.
How much are those?
Genius. They're $30. Suzanne Saus came up with this cool idea. Her rings are being sold at a gallery in Berlin. Owner of the gallery, Una Gallery, is Anna Schlinkt. She said the rings melt in the hands of the wearer within a couple of minutes. What a waste of $30.
Why on earth?
I'm going to start making those too. What is the difference between a good ice ring and a bad ice ring? Theirs are $30. I'll make terrible ice rings that are not so good for like $15. Half as much money. They're both melted within a few minutes anyway. Who's buying those? What kind of a knucklehead would do that? That does not make any sense to me.
Not at all.
I am way too thrifty to spend $30 on something that's going to be a puddle of water in a couple of minutes. Just not going to happen. Not at all.
No way.
Coming up here in a bit, we're going to talk about something else that won't melt in 3 minutes. That's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
If you've got a young boy in school that is struggling, you know what you're supposed to do?
What's that?
Have him sit next to a girl. In a very bizarre new teaching instruction from Scotland, boys are being ordered to sit next to girls in classes in a bid to help them pass their exams, and it's working. Scottish education officials believe that seating arrangements will help the underachieving male catch up. The hope is that boys will learn the strengths of girls who are doing better in tests and exams. Last year, girls performed 11% better on standardized tests in Scotland. Having done tests already, the boy-girl seating arrangement in classes have been found to improve the behavior and ensures that they learn from each other's strengths. So they say there's a lot that boys can learn from girls, and there's a lot that girls can learn from boys. Mainly all kinds of naughty things, but they can probably learn something. So they're saying this is actually a good thing for both.
I can see that.
When you were in school, did you ever have a boy sit close to you and did better in school because of it?
I don't think so, no.
If you had a boy sitting next to you in school, I got a feeling he's probably an alcoholic these days. So. You're like, hey, you want to split this shot that I brought to school? You were a naughty kid, weren't you?
I was very naughty.
Yeah, you definitely were.
I was.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
You can have the best intentions, but if you're sending the wrong signal, kids will clam up, according to Michael Borba, author of 12 Simple Secrets Real Moms Know. So moms, listen up. If you these are things you're supposed to be looking for. Body language. Avoid gestures like shrugging your shoulders or leaning back with your arms folded, which is to a kid is likely to read, I don't accept you. And don't stand above him or her. If your teen is sitting and is shorter than you, sit down. So when you're talking to them, if you're above them, that's actually make them feel like you're talking down to them because you are. Next, facial expressions. When you're talking to kids, be aware of the scowl and the raised eyebrows and the rolls and the smirks and all that stuff because they don't like it any more than you do. So if you're talking to your kids and you're being angry and you're having angry faces at them, then it's probably going to not make things go well. Another thing that can, these are 12 simple secrets real moms know. Nonverbal sounds. Skip the heavy, you do those.
I do those.
I can hear those from the other room.
Yep.
Next, tone. If you're talking to a teen and the voice that you use with a friend, that's good. If you're using a different tone because they're a teen, change your tone and you'll change your teen. Next, yelling. If you're not careful, your voice can go up a level. Moms need to use their indoor voice too.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you don't. You do a really good job of using a different tone for the kids. When you're mad, I can tell, and so can the neighbors. I try not to.
They just shouldn't make me mad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that completely. Next, talking too much. If you're having a dispute, bite your tongue. Count to 10. Give your kid time to talk, and you're going to have a much better outcome. Sarcasm. Don't try to be funny. Oh, no, we're both in trouble there. Hypersensitive kids may feel insulted. Save your sparkling wit for grown-ups. And finally on the list here, anger. Stay as relaxed as possible, even if you have to say, you know what, I need some time to calm down. Let's calm down. Let's talk about this later, and then come back when you're cooler, because then you're going to have a better conversation. So 12 simple secrets real moms know from Michelle Borba. I said Michael Borba earlier. Makes a lot more sense when I say Michelle, doesn't it?
It really does.
Michael, what does he know about moms?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
We always try to end the program with some positive news. Now, this, I think, is positive news, and I don't know, maybe you'll disagree, but I think it's positive news, for chimpanzees anyway. Days in the laboratory could be numbered for chimpanzees, humans' closest relative. Chimps have paved the way for many things, like astronauts. We paved the ways for them to go to outer space. They were vital in creating some important medicines. The government said that science has advanced enough from what chimpanzees have already given us that we shouldn't, from now on, chimpanzees should be a last resort when it comes to medical research. I think that's good.
I think that's good.
I love chimpanzees. A move that puts the United States more in line with the rest of the world. Chimps' similarity with people demands special consideration and respect, according to the National Institute of Health spokesperson. So they're saying, hey, just because they're kind of like us doesn't mean we should be able to, chop them up and do whatever we want. Shoot them with stuff and, give them diseases and make them do things.
That should be exactly why we shouldn't be able to do those things.
So they're saying, leave the chimps alone. I love chimps.
I do too.
We go to the zoo every once in a while. We'll go and I'll kind of hang out.
Monkeys.
I'll stare at the monkey and they'll stare back. And we'll just kind of stare at each other. And then I'll move my hand and he'll move his. And I'm like, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror. I need to shave a little bit. But I just think chimpanzees are just fascinating. I don't know why that is, but they're just fascinating to me. And so are gorillas.
Gorillas are the ones I love. I love the gorillas.
Any kind of monkey. I could spend hours just hanging out with monkeys.
I'd like a monkey.
I would too, but I've been told that they're not a good pet. They are very messy from the sounds of it. And considering the trouble we have with two little tiny puppies, I'm pretty sure we could not handle monkeys. Every once in a while, we'll have puppies that'll come in here.
You can hire a monkey boy to come in and clean up after him.
Can you hire a monkey sitter?
In his own silo.
Silo?
Yeah,
what?
Then you could put vines and trees and stuff in there, and he'd have lots of room to jump and climb and run. And
I don't know what you're talking about. But
what? You could build like a silo on your property and put full-size tree in there, and then have all sorts of cool stuff on the side, stairs and things that wrap around that he could run.
Think about the budget we would be working with. This would be about the worst possible idea you could think of. Hey, we got a monkey. What's that duct tape thing over there? It's my silo.
That's my monkey silo.
It's got a tree inside of it. Heidi's idea. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I apologize for the last minute of your life. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break, only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more about those crazy cats at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Go check that out. Get razors for $3 a month delivered right to your door. Really good people, really good company, and they've got some amazing products. Again, learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Fun story here. Firefighters in Orlando, Florida had to save a burglary suspect because he got stuck. Usually you'd think, burglary suspect? Send the police. Why would you send a fireman, Heidi?
I don't know. Why?
Because he got stuck. The man pulled the vent off an exhaust chimney on the roof of a convenience store, tried to slide his way in, apparently enjoying too many convenience store hot dogs or something. He got stuck. Arriving firefighters found a man squished into the middle of the chimney. His legs were hanging into the store. Rescuers poured Palmolive dish soap down the chimney and then pulled him back to the roof, finally onto solid ground, where then they handed him over to the police, and he was handcuffed. So Palmolive works good to get fat people out of chimneys. They should have commercials for that. That's not the first time we've read stories like this. I remember one where there was a guy that was stuck head down and feet up in a vent on the top of a place he was trying to rob. Not good. And a story from Kuwait. First of all, I just want to say, for those of you who have served in our military and have gone overseas fighting for our country, thank you for all the service you've done, wherever you happen to be in the world. But this is, right here, this is an instance where we don't even understand the freedoms we have in this country. We don't even get it. I mean, we don't understand it all. But if you talk to somebody who served overseas, they've been there and they've witnessed what happens in other countries, and they know what we're fighting to help, they have a whole new appreciation for this. Listen to the story. A young man in Kuwait gave his fiancée a hug and then a smooch, and then he was arrested and sentenced to 4 years in prison. You know why?
Why?
Authorities say the stiff prison sentence was handed down to punish him for offending their public decency law. He smooched her in public. Wow. Married couples are forbidden to kiss in public in Kuwait.
Wow.
So he gave her a little smooch. They were fiancés. He gave her a hug and a smooch, and yeah, you guys are going to jail. Sorry. So he was thrown in jail for 4 years for kissing his fiancée.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That is bonkers. I don't understand that at all. So I just really feel bad for those guys that, this husband, well, fiancés, I guess, Now, he's in jail because he gave her a kiss. That is nuts. So, again, thank you to people who, I'm not saying that we're going over there fighting for that specific thing, but it's that type of thinking, where they're going to throw you in jail for 4 years for kissing your fiancé? What? What's wrong with that? All right. I notice you're not saying anything. You're making me uncomfortable.
Oh, no, I have a lot that I want to say.
All right.
But
You're making me uncomfortable with your silence, so we'll just move on. Your bonus break has been brought to you. Oh, by the way, just in case, the opinions that I just shared are my opinions and my opinions alone. Don't blame anybody else. If you didn't like it, call me. I don't care. That's fine. And I'm probably not going to change my opinion because I think it's just nuts that this kid went to jail for 4 years because he kissed his fiancée. Doesn't make any sense. And if you can convince me that that makes sense, then you are amazing. Again, our bonus break brought to you by DollarShaveClub.com/radio.